What a bloody nightmare this is, eh? What a bloody nightmare this is. Hello all of you little demons, Jules here for WhatCulture.com, back again with another episode of the awesomely named and awfully hosted Choose Your Own Adventure, the weekly medieval themed format where I, the crown jewels of WhatCulture.com, take a list chosen by you, yes, you, the person who has two editors on today's list, because James Dowes is still in parts unknown. Do we even have footage of his weird excursion that he's going on? Yep, that's disconcerting. Yes, but we have Joe and Dan who are splitting the list in two and editing under the time pressure of 24 hours. Oh. Yes, you get to decide what list I dole out to you each and every week, and this week we have none other than Sun Prism for their suggestion of the best in-game text descriptions on video game items. And this is the thing, I love this suggestion because if you actually delve into all of the hidden details and notes that are on items, you can actually find some pretty amazing jokes. Now, out of all of the job titles within the video game industry, few are able to get the heart pumping quite as much as video game item description scribe number 83. Ooh, do you feel that? Chills. But all joking aside though, it's not likely something that you'll be rushing out to get printed onto your business card, and yet those that are given the keyboard and told to explain what this does to the player often have access to a rather unique relationship with gamers. For not only is it knowledge that you can pass on to the player, but also Easter eggs, hints to other properties, and of course, some downright funny poop, wee, farts and bum jokes. Huzzah! So with this in mind, let's take a look at them. As I'm Jules, this is WhatCulture.com, and these are 8 hilarious jokes hidden in video game item descriptions. And you know the drill by now, say hi to me here in the live chat and put your suggestions for next week's episode down in the comments section below. And with that in mind, let's get on with the list, shall we? Oh my God! Number 8, the Vibe Scepter, Super Princess Peach. Now, technically, the description of the Vibe Scepter from Super Princess Peach isn't actually hidden in the sense that it's actually something you're going to have to sift through reams of dialogue to find. It is actually the game's ending. However, I contest that the real meaning of the ending and the lewd joke that's hidden therein would definitely fly over the heads of most younger players. For you see, the Vibe Scepter, which forms the basis of the gameplay in Super Princess Peach, is a magical item that can instantly change the mood of the bearer or those around them, which, aside from raising all sorts of red flags as you're effectively carrying around the Gaslighter 3000, does make for some fun platforming and light puzzle solving. However, one puzzle that younger players may not be able to solve is the reason why their parents or older siblings are now laughing their asses off at the ending of this game or leaving the room in utter embarrassment. For you see, upon completing Super Princess Peach, the text crawl reveals that the scepter has disappeared, and who knows who might be using it now. Maybe Bowser has gotten hold of the scepter and is using it to control his immeasurable rage. Maybe some up-and-coming indie filmmaker is using the scepter to turn their work into Oscar bait, tear-jerking from audiences around the globe. Or maybe, just maybe, your mum is using the scepter to vibe her bloody rocks off. Yeah. What was that last bit? Or as your mum would say with the scepter in hand, come again? Yes, you read that right. The description is basically saying the Vibe Scepter is a well, you get the idea. No wonder this is called the Sensation Scepter in the Spanish release. Number 7, Peach's Katamari Damacy. So let's face facts, in the grand ranking of every fruit in existence ever, the humble peach has gotta be up there near the top, right? I mean, it's delicious, it's packed full of that sweet, sweet nectar, and of course, has the added comedic value of looking like you're biting into a butt. And if you don't believe me, well, at least I know I'm backed up by the developers of Katamari Damacy, who basically just said, yeah, it looks like a butt. Doesn't taste like one though. For you see, in your quest to roll up the entire galaxy, because apparently you lack less destructive and chaotic hobbies, you might not have taken the time to read the humble Peach's item description, but if you do, you'd be rewarded with a little chuckle in a game absolutely chock full of them. For you see, it reads, a butt-shaped fruit that is more tasty than butts. Now, the jury is out on whether this is scientifically true, seeing as the internet is awash with talk of eating butts, but thank you very much, Katamari Damacy, for your wonderful slice of oddity. Big love to you. Number 6. Yellow Snowballs, Wasteland 3. Oh, Wasteland 3, you are so utterly bonkers at times, aren't you? Sharing a similar strand of DNA from the ever-popular Fallout series, the Wasteland franchise is full of utterly irradiated insanity, however chooses to tell its tale from a perspective similar to the early Fallout games over the drive towards first-person action that took over with Fallout 3. Now, the horror and humour come thick and fast in these titles, with you running from mutated monstrosities one minute and then engaging in utterly ridiculous side quests the next. And bridging the gap between this world of fear and fun is the disgustingly hilarious yellow snowball item. Now, it's clear from the off that yellow snow, even in this radiation dump of a world, is rather suspicious, and this is confirmed by the description of the item, which reads, "The impact only lasts a moment, but the shame lasts a lifetime." That's right, it's a ball of frozen piss. Sick. I mean, just thinking about it is making my mouth feel all claggy, but somehow it gets even worse because you can upgrade the yellow snowball to become the yellow snowball bomb, which is basically sticking an explosive in this. It's weaponized piss on a scale that not even Death Stranding approached. Number 5. Pebbles, Bloodborne. Now, when somebody says the word Bloodborne to you, what's the first thing that springs to mind? Is it over the top and crazy Lovecraftian bosses? Is it relentless difficulty? Is it the fact that these trench coats look so good on the hunters but would look utterly ridiculous in real life? Don't wear them, you'll look like some sort of wrong-un. Maybe it's them, but one thing it probably isn't is a load of laughs, a load of belly laughs, a deep chuckle, my friend. This is Bloodborne after all. No one's laughing here. I mean, I know that we've all likely had a chuckle at how easily we've been dispatched by a boss, or giggled like a madman trapped in an asylum as From Software tricks us again with another collapsing floor death, but these are laughs of pain escaping the body as bemusement over out-and-out expressions of comedy. Yet that all changed when it came to some of the game's item descriptions. As is common from Software titles, a ton of the game's lore and character backstories are hidden in item descriptions, meaning that dedicated hunters of Bloodborne sifted through countless reams of text to piece together the story. However, at the end of all things, at the end of the world, the end of the hunter's dream, on the big book of Yharnam, An Idiot's Guide to Dying, I really hope that on the final page, the final line, is the description of the humble pebble, which I'll read out for you now. Small pebbles found throughout Yharnam can be thrown at enemies. Quite thrilling. Just everything about that description absolutely bursts me. The sarcastic description of a small rock is felt with every word, and that quite thrilling, well, it's the icing on the sassy cake. Number 4. Ultima weapon, World of Final Fantasy. Now, if there's one thing synonymous with the Final Fantasy series outside of evil empires, Moogles, and characters that look like they've fallen backwards through a sex shop set in the Splatoon universe, it's the optional super bosses that are often referred to as weapons, namely because of their rise in popularity with Final Fantasy VII's Emerald, Ruby, and Ultima weapons, and also because these bosses will quite literally cut you down to size like they were a bloody cleaver. Yet as the series has expanded, so too has the size and scope of these ultimate bosses, and in the current age of Final Fantasy, it's not uncommon to see foes with millions of HP, ungodly attacks, and names that are barely incomprehensible, acting as a pre-boss battle fight for your tongue. And therefore it must get increasingly difficult to come up with ever-increasingly imposing names, which is best expressed in the rather humorous entry for Ultima weapon found in the world of Final Fantasy. And the description reads, "This thing's power levels are off the charts, exists only to destroy everyone and everything. Trying to cook up a name that sounds more powerful than Ultima was actually kind of hard. We're still not entirely pleased with the results, but hopefully you'll be too busy getting your keister handed to you to notice or care." Well, notice we did, and care we double did, but also got our keisters handed to us, we triple did. Seriously, this boss is insane. Number 3, the Tingler, Dragon's Age Origins. Now, when you're about to set off on an adventure to slay the big bad of the lands, most heroes probably have to run a mini-mental checklist before they head out of the door. Now, do I have my weapon of legend to slay the mighty beast? Check. Okay, do I have my health potions and then 10 more than I could ever possibly need just in case? Check. Do I have my magical enchanted cock ring? Sorry, what? Oh, sorry, that's not apparently a cock ring, but actually the Tingler from Dragon Age Origins, a magical item that buffs your constitution, provides health regen and bonuses to healing items, and that totally is a cock ring because you find it in some dude's basement, and the item description basically says that you should never touch this thing without it sitting in a bleach bath for a month. Yes, indeed, the Tingler is a strange item indeed, and this is the item description. The whole hand tingles from wearing this ring, as if more blood rushes through the area. Now, I know that the owner is likely embarrassed that you've just gone down to his sex dungeon and come back up with the curtain ring for his meat pole, but at the same time, to try and convince you that this accessory is a magical item that will help you in your quest, well, that's just not on. I tell you, he was probably doing this the moment that you left the door, thinking he got away with it. Number 2, Swift Shadow, Deathloop. Ooh, Deathloop sure is a wild ride, right? Its visuals and presentation are deliciously meticulous, and its central concept of one man trying to break a time loop whilst also trying to figure out who's hunting him and why is fantastic. And even though the gunplay might feel a little sluggish and repetitive, I mean, you are in a time loop after all, what really breathes life back into the experience are the characters and the dialogue interactions. It seems that the team behind the script had a blast coming up with snappy back and forth exchanges and peppering the world with tiny conversations that you can overhear that not only inform you of what's going on, but also have a bloody good laugh from time to time. Yet strangely, out of all of the comedy that's on offer, it was one item description in particular that absolutely popped me dead. And honestly, I don't think that many people actually even bothered to take the time to read it as they were getting on with their day that never ends simulator. You see, through your game, you'll come across small but powerful objects called trinkets. These alter your abilities in fun and interesting ways, allowing you to completely tailor your build, and then you can expand on these further by finding rarer variants of each trinket, with each level improving their effects, as well as changing their item description. And it was the tale of Swift Shadow that absolutely popped me, or as I've come to know it, the Ballad of the Crab That Could. So here's the crude version: move quickly while crouched, the only crab on Black Reef. And here's the sleek version: move even faster while crabbing it up, when crouched. And this is the exemplar: move swiftly while crouched like some kind of sleek mega murder crab. A sleek mega murder crab. Need I say more? And number 1, basically everything. Final Fantasy XIV. Now, I won't lie to you, when I was trying to research this list, one video game above all else just kept on cropping up again and again and again, to the point where it was actually kind of distracting. But I wasn't annoyed by it, because every single time that I saw it, every item that I read from this title, well, it split me in two as if I'd taken a headbutt from Chainsaw Man. They are that good. It doesn't just set the bar, it is the bloody bar. It's Final Fantasy XIV. And trust me, the text on some of these items are insane. I mean, take the grade 4 artisanal sky builder's astroscope that states that people use this item to stare into the open air baths around the land, and that while technically true, that this action does not constitute observation of heavenly bodies. Or how about the healing item that people aren't told the name of because they might gag? The name is Arsefluff, for the record. Brilliant. Or how about the absolutely demented rendition of Flow Rider's Low through the description found on the rarefied applewood staff? Seriously, that last one nearly did me in. There are so many hilarious item descriptions that it's nearly impossible to list them all, and players across multiple servers now dedicate themselves to cataloguing all of these hilarious scraps of text. Godspeed and God bless is what I say. You're doing the Lord's work there. And there we go, my friends. Those were 8 hilarious jokes hidden in video game item descriptions. I hope that you enjoyed that, and please let me know what you thought about it down in the comments section below, as well as your personal favourites of this list or ones that I haven't covered, because who knows, I personally want to come back and do more of this. I had such a good time writing it, and I hope that you had a good time watching it as well. Big love, by the way, to both Joe and Dan for editing this list together. I know that it's been a tight turnaround, lads, but thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And if you want to chat to all of us on the social medias, you should see all of their social medias here, and you can follow me at RetroJ, but the O is a 0 on both Twitter and Instagram. Yes, that's right, I've started putting more pictures up there of all my Warhammer doodads and thingamabobs. I just want to say one thing. I hope that you're treating yourself well with love and respect, my friend, because you deserve all the best things in life, all right? Like love, happiness, and success. And trying to achieve those things, it ain't no joke. Sometimes it is serious business. So remember that you are not alone. You've got friends, family, and professionals in the support industry that care about you and want you to do well. So go out there and smash it. I believe in you, and you need to believe in yourself as well, you massive ledge. As always, I've been Jules. You have been awesome. Never forget that. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.